Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to one of your favorite shows, ladies and gentlemen. Husam X Tom X Scoppish. We are here. We're here to talk about Liverpool Football Club, our club. We're playing Everton tomorrow. You get me? The derby's here. Trent might stay at Liverpool Football Club. You get me? Trent might stay at Liverpool Football Club. Kerkez, £45 million price tag has been slapped on him. And according to someone, Jack Howe told me yesterday, I forgot who the someone is, Isak is apparently plan A, plan B, and plan C. We have been here before. Second day of Eid Mubarak to all of you guys in the chat, if you're celebrating. And we're here. Joining us first and foremost, I've been getting about 300 messages. I've been getting literally about 300 messages like with this guy. I don't get what it is. I have received genuinely about 7 messages from 7 different people like, you must cook top red Callum. So he's been running with this narrative, it seems. So I don't even know what's going on. Man like Callum is in the building. Hi, Callum. What's going on?
Just being me, bro.
Can you stop this? Can you actually break it down? You know, this is a place where we can just be honest to each other. What's going on?
What do you want? What honesty do you want from me?
Why? What's this whole top red thing? What's going on?
Do you think we're gonna change our strategy of
No.
of the club? So why am I gonna fight against it?
Because you should always be remembered on the good side of history.
What does that get you?
Okay, put it this way. Would you like to be? Oh, I was about to say something. I know you're a great guy who works with all Liverpool content creators. So let me not even.
Don't get me in any beef, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, listen. 2025 is my year of no beef. You get me? I'm gonna be like. I'm just gonna be nice to everyone. You get me? I'm gonna do my own thing.
I'm just regurgitating stuff that I've been told over the last 4.5 years.
But regurgitation is not good. That's what babies do.
You're right. But babies live a very happy life, don't they, in comparison to the adults that's looking after them.
Speaking of babies, joining us next on the channel. Hi, Tom.
The more I look at that crime list, when have I ever done money laundering?
Has that changed?
Like some of them crimes, like I've never committed war crimes.
Yeah.
By the way, Cal, I gotta say I am disappointed. You know. It's the Don Husam channel's birthday today, and I didn't get a happy birthday from you.
Wow, Callum, you didn't even know that?
It's your channel's birthday today.
Tom, I appreciate it. Thank you for actually remembering. Genuinely, I appreciate that. You got me a real one. Big up, Tom. Big up, Tom. Big up. Appreciate you.
What it's about, we work with them every week, multiple times a week. I thought you just remember something so big like that.
Is it really your channel's birthday, Husam?
Yeah, it is.
Husam, I hold my hands up. I'm sorry, bro. I apologize. Happy birthday to you and your channel. Continued success and all God's blessings, bro. I'm sorry.
You didn't even say. I gave you an alley-oop. I kept talking at the start. I was like, is he gonna say happy birthday to Sam's channel? Like, what's going on? You get me? So,
hold on, it's April's Fool's though, so I don't know.
No, I swear. I actually listen. 4 years ago, I got a message from YouTube. You get me today when I woke up. Like 4 years and still going strong. 4 years. I loaded up my phone, and I started streaming. My first ever video was battle rapping about Steven Gerrard being better than Lampard's goals, and I still feel that way 4 years later. So, by the way, just so you know, I'm not joking. Here we go. Like I don't do April Fool's Day.
Oh, congrats, man! 4 years, bro. Here's to another 4, bro.
4 years.
Minimum,
How long has Scoppish been running?
So Coppish we started in June 2019.
Oh, so the first year was an actual good year.
Literally. So I
in the
started with
league.
Matt Drift. We won the league, and I was like, "Oh, this is easy." And then we had the pandemic season. And I was like, "Oh, this ain't
It was no longer easy watching Kabak and
this
fucking
ain't easy." When we was, what was it, 6 home games in a row we lost? I was like, "This ain't easy."
That Fulham 1-0 loss might have been that was the closest I went to just not watching football for the rest of that season. You know, watching fucking Mario Lemina dunk on our ball. We spent 90 minutes. It's just pointlessly.
That's
attacked.
when the channel started, you stupid bastard. Not when he started supporting Liverpool. You stupid bastard.
I've been doing.
I called Callum 43 last week. You think he's young? He's 35 years old, bro. He's been watching Liverpool his whole life. Yeah, that's a shame.
I started doing content before I started working with Matt and Drift, though. But officially with Coppish, that's when we started.
Where did you start doing content?
I was doing content on. I was just going around on different channels, and I was also doing the Sanderson show. I stopped doing the Sanderson show because all of my camera equipment got stolen. Someone broke into my car, took everything, cleaned me out.
That's actually.
We at least you didn't take the shirts.
No, yeah,
that's a lot more interesting than the whole top red BS. You get me?
So literally, it happened a day before my first son's christening. So I packed all the stuff in the car because I was going to film the christening and all that. And then like, I used to have to leave out really early to get to my barber back in the day because like there'd be a long queue. So I left out, and as I was coming out of like the apartments where we were living at the time, I just heard people running. I just heard people scampering, and then I sort of walked around, I sort of walked towards my car, and I saw the boot was half open, and I just started darting after one of the guys, and almost caught him. And I started circling around the area, and it was a bit of a wild one.
Did you call the cops?
They don't do anything.
Also, Husam, you do not say cops when he's talking about English police.
Bro, so again, another crime story. I was doing the first ever time I worked with Expressions. Me, Matt, and Drift were doing a show of Expressions in the pandemic. Someone broke into my car on the driveway while I was filming.
That's like, actually mad.
Literally,
how many cases do you have? If you leave your car on the driveway, it just gets broken into. If you speak about transfers, it don't happen.
So literally, I was filming, and my missus was like, so I filmed my conservatory. So she was standing out the conservatory, like waving her hands. I'm thinking, you know, I'm filming. What are you doing? So like, she's proper trying to get my attention. And finally, she just opened the door. She's like, you need to come outside. And I was like, for what? And she's like, someone's trying to break in a car. So obviously I've flipped now. As I've gone outside, there's like 8 police people outside. So one of the neighbors had called the police and told them that this guy keeps on going around different houses and trying to open car doors. So as I've opened the door, there's about 8 police people there, and they've gone, do you live here? And I was like, well, what do you think? And they're like, we need to know. And I was like, what do you think? I've opened the door. Would you think I'm just robbing houses? And they're like, is this your car? And I was like, yes. I was like, what are you lot doing at my house? And they're like, do you know this person? I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, oh, this person was caught breaking into your car. So as I started walking around, they've grabbed me, and I'm like, I'm not going to beat him up in front of you, am I? I'm not going to get arrested. That would be a bit stupid. I was like, I just want to see his face. And they're like, we can't let you see his face. I was like, why not? They're like, because you might exact revenge. And I was like, I will exact revenge. I was like, just let me see his face. And then, but even that, nothing came of it. They didn't press charges on him, nothing. So
this is so crazy because
I don't really trust.
Hold on a minute.
I live.
MK told we're not putting breaking into Cal's car on my list of crimes here.
No, we're not gonna do that.
My car is already fucked. I'm not having.
But let me just say, guys, Matt can't make today's stream, so last minute replacement. Divock Origi settings, iconic, legendary. Man like JJ is in the building. How are you doing, JJ?
Yes,
I'm good. I'm happy. Obviously decided to fling on my favorite T-shirt to hopefully trigger Tom. You know, speaking like rats and all of that. So yeah, man.
We've got that rat as well.
Let's go.
Oh, you have an orange shirt.
Fucking infestation.
Is this a safe space to speak about Trent?
This is always a
Oh
safe space.
God!
And put you next to your teammate. You know, listening to stories
I
like
don't
that-
think we're teammates on this Trent
Wait,
stuff.
so you can't. So if you like want to just go down and grab something from a shop quickly, you can't keep your turn. You can't just keep your car on.
No.
No.
I live in a third world country. When I go
You're
to the
asking for it to get fucking
when I
robbed
go
if you
when
leave
I
the
go get
keys in.
groceries, I just leave my car on. I just buy a couple of things and leave. I do that. I can do this in Jordan.
Lad,
No.
if you done that anywhere in fucking England, say goodbye to your fucking car.
Yeah, I live in a place called Croydon, Husam, and Croydon's notorious for like crime and stuff. Like I've always got to have my head on a swivel.
Well, I guess that
London-
answers the
London-
world's
London's pretty
questions
bad
of
for
why
that.
Husam doesn't live in the UK.
Yeah, London's quite bad for that, but Croydon, like unfortunately, there's quite a lot of like knife crime and just stuff like that. But if I was to leave my car door open, it's highly likely someone would do something.
That's mad. How is Jordan safer than the UK? Haaland out for ages. Looks likely Salah will win Golden Boot for a record 4th time. We even have legal guns here, but he doesn't dribble like Doku, so he's not good. Right ends, drift, roms. Salah to Newcastle soon. Callum is a. Why is Callum a clown, Felipe, as a Newcastle
Felipe,
fan? What
we've
is-
actually been cool, Felipe. I've not even said anything bad about Newcastle. Where's this come from?
Where's this come from, Callum?
I can't win.
What's going on, Callum? I need an explanation for this.
I
really need an
genuinely
explanation.
don't know. I thought me and Felipe were cool. I've been praising Newcastle since the cup final. I think I've been very respectful to Newcastle. I even said I don't think we've got a chance getting Isak or any of their players. I can't win. One of them things, man.
Everyone knows Callum's a fraud anyway, but not a clown. Come on.
Yeah, let's just double down in it, Sam.
No, I said not a clown. I'm defending you. I said a fraud. You're the reason why Liverpool.
You're
is
not that
great.
bad. You're still bad, but you're not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Callum's standards is in the ground now. It's done for Callum.
I'm just saying what the people have been saying to me over the years, man.
We haven't heard Tom rapping in a while.
Oh,
I have
brilliant.
2 Tom rap videos.
Yeah, you've got the original one. So there's context needed in the fact that someone paid 50 quid to hear it, and I'm a man of the people. But
I have
get
2
any
ones.
of
I have
the
one
50
with your long hair and one with
I
your
didn't get
short
any of
hair.
the 50 quid now.
So you're in a 360 deal.
Sam, no, it's funny because Sam just sits down on shows going, Tom's not getting paid this week. I just put in the comments, I've never been paid.
Was it a freestyle, Tom, or did you write lyrics?
No, you see what it was.
Are you talking about the one with you having short hair or the one with you having long hair? Because I have 2.
Two.
It's the same song both times, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But one with Conor Bradley in the background and the other one with the YouTube guys.
The YouTube.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
I just remember the one which starts off with the Klopp stuff and then it goes into.
I heard him saying that he said, I was surprised for going he's incredible boy. Wonderful. I'm not sure, I don't hear that, but people told me that the crowd was already singing his name. It's just great.
Yeah, mate. I love you. But it's time to go. Gotta mix these packs and potions, no peace till I put a sim in a burner. I'm on a block like Werner, backroad Laker, fully paid bro, I'm an earner. If I pass, I'm a head top turner. Them elders are washed like Sammy Kadira. And they should start calling me uncle, because when I speak on these beats, they get murdered. Bam, 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 bam.
There you go. Eminem from the Whirl.
The Whirl, get a fucking grip of Sam.
You fucking Jedi lad.
Get a fucking grip.
150 for Isak or 170 for both Joe Pedro and Baleba. Oh.
Why are people acting like they haven't seen this before?
I've never seen that. Believe me, I would have remembered seeing something.
It's like I've
The
played like
beginning as
non-stop
well,
on this
as well.
channel for 6 months.
Yeah, the beginning as well, where it's like, yeah, get mate, I love you, but it's time to go, pow, and then it just the beat drops. You get me? I'll probably, from my perspective, I'll probably say 150 for Isak still. Like, I'll probably say that. But I love
send me that video, man. Please send me that video.
Hold on, we're not getting this going on fucking.
No. This is
like
exclusive.
No, I'm not
to
gonna
Dom.
send it around. I just need that when I'm having a bad day and just bring that on and just have a better day, man. That was special.
Oh my god.
Big up to my guy Zir. W's in the chat for Zir. Drops in the 100 pieces. Says Eid fun. Shukran, Habibi. Eid Mubarak to you all. Listen, Eidain today. 4 years strong. Don Husam channel birthday today. You get me? So I appreciate you all. Love you all for the love. 4 years ago, I started off in the other room from the jail cell. You get me? I recorded the Gerard Lampard calls thing. And now we're here 4 years later. So I appreciate you all. And love for the love, you guys, man. We're 1,000 subscribers away from the big 50k. I'm literally halfway across the world, and English ain't even my first language. So
what's the celebration when you hit 50k?
oh, I'm gonna have a big ass celebration when I get 50k. Don't worry.
Gonna need another Tom verse. Especially.
Fuck that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You want another Tom verse? There's a monetary value on me rapping. Not. It's not a celebration.
I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to pay.
How much was it for the first one?
What do you know? Like, what do you need, Tom? Because there's sometimes there's not a price you can put on happiness, bro.
Don't worry, we will figure something.
I don't know if there's a second verse in the song though, because I'm not singing any other one. I've got to get the second verse of it.
Anyway, listen, we've been waffling for 19 minutes. Let's get to the actual football stuff. What do you guys want to start with? Tell me. What should be the first topic on today's stream? We'll let Jerry decide as the guest. You see in the title. What do you want to talk about? Transfers, the actual football? Like, go for it.
Let's talk about the football.
Go on.
Let's change it up. Let's talk about the football.
Go on.
Yeah. Liverpool, Everton. I don't know. I'm a bit wary, personally. As we spoke on Husam's stream the other day, look, they've been unbeaten in 9. I know it's not been wins, but Moyes has come back and given them a feel-good factor. The only thing they're winning this season is, bragging rights. That they could potentially try and derail Liverpool's season with obviously the draw at Goodison Park. Was that a win? I can't even remember. That was a draw. It felt like a loss, innit? It felt like
them, it was a win.
Yeah, exactly. But obviously Liverpool on paper should smack them up, of course. Liverpool, obviously, I hope have the kind of fire in their belly after obviously 2 losses back to back in the Carabao Cup final and in the Champions League. But something about me, I don't know, just Liverpool always like to do it the hard way. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we smash them and we can just go on and just win the league cleanly. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we haven't seen Liverpool in such a long while, we don't know what Liverpool's coming out. I'm not sure if we're going to come out guns blazing or whether it's going to be, same old, usual thing where back after international break, we're just slow, lethargic, and the game's a bit more tricky than it should be. But I don't know what you guys think, man.
I hate the derby. I hate the derby. It's fucking audible. It's the one game Everton give a shit about all year. And the fact that they got that result at Goodison means they're just going to be even more jolly and merry going into this one. So I know when I was on with Husam on Sunday, he was sitting there going, it'll be he made a bet with me that it'll be minimum 3-goal win. And I'm sitting there going, this is the derby. I don't feel that ain't happening. Like, no, I would take the worst 1-0 you've ever seen. I just want to get a win out of them. But it's not good. We're not going to play them off the park. This is all they give a shit about. And I don't think our players necessarily... I'm not going to say they don't care as much, but they know that our season isn't solely dependent on that now. Whereas Everton's season, the only thing they've got left to play for this season is getting the results at Anfield. For us, we've got 8 other games after this where we can get the job done. So that's my worry.
You guys are so... are we actually afraid of Everton at Anfield? Like, I was just going to
say, it might sound really arrogant. I was going to say, it might sound really arrogant. I'm not scared of this. I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think this is a perfect game for us to come back to after an international break where we had disappointment before the international break, to go and put a hurting on a team. Again, I don't think it's going to be a high score. Husam always predicts high scores and we never do it. So we ain't going to get a high
is that you talking? The person who's solely responsible for Liverpool not being great. Why are you still doing transfer videos, huh? Why are
I'm
you
not
still
doing transfer videos. I'm just reporting news. I don't actually give my views.
But who asked you to report news? Who asked you to report news?
Part of my job.
No, but you can let Drifty or Matt do that job specifically.
So what job am I meant to do then? If I can't speak about football,
you should do the watch-alongs, and you should be the one that talks about football matches. Don't be the one that reports anything off the pitch. Because anytime you said FSG into the day I die, and that's gonna happen now because of you.
That was AI.
No. That's gonna happen because of you.
That was AI.
That's literally gonna happen because of you now.
Apparently, you did one yesterday, Cal. That's what people are saying in the comments.
Yeah, exactly. People were messaging me yesterday.
Eric, is that what you're doing? Yeah, cool,
bro. The
so you did. So you just lied to us.
I just reported who we were linked with.
Right. So who? What names can I scratch off the list? What names can I scratch off the list?
Eric, I'm gonna find you on our subscriber list. You know. So
That's just a threat.
Eric.
It's not. Can I tell you something? It's
the
not
Mighty
just
Reds. I'm writing all the names down. I'm gonna see if
but you can make a list all you want. Your whole community are snitches.
And Yusuf Hegazi.
Yeah, Yusuf, bro. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
If it means we gotta cleanse the Coppish community of these snitches, then I'll have to do.
So what? You're gonna ban like 35,000 people?
I never use the B word, bro. I'm just saying. We don't appreciate
time them out.
Right, so Husam, I think Husam, we can wipe off Hincapié. Any Hincapié stuff that's gone because Cal talked about him yesterday. That's another one we can cross off the list.
I actually didn't speak about him. I just asked Drift if he'd want to sign him.
What, Cal? Are you a jinx or something? What's going on?
Apparently,
what's going on?
Is he a jinx?
Remember, Jerry, when you were sat there when Ornstein said Kvaratskhelia to Liverpool? Callum did the video 30 minutes later. Bomba, he's gone to PSG.
So, Jerry, there's this running narrative. I don't know how true it is or not.
Casado! FSG into the day I die.
Every single one.
Jerry, you're in the Caicedo boat with me there, bro. You're rapping, bro. You're rapping.
I was. I'm not the jinx. No. The players I've wanted have come.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the jinx.
So, I've got a track record of whenever I want a player to sign for Liverpool, they either get a really bad injury that derails their career or they go to somewhere else.
Sorry, who was the player who you wanted who got injured? What's the threat for the health now?
Yo, what's going on, Ash? I see you in the Coppish chat as well. What's going on? Your community is turning on you as
the community turned on me. The community turned on me months ago. I'll be honest.
Cal's moving like Chris Jericho a couple of
Why
years ago.
Someone just made the list as well. What's going on? What's I had to be filled in on all this.
Have they photoshopped me in a suit?
Corporate Cal, are you mad? What's happening? They're saying Corporate Kane.
Hold on, Vince? Is that Vince McMahon or is that Kane?
This is crazy. The guy's got white hands.
That's Kane.
You just put my face on a guy who's got white. That is Vince McMahon.
That's Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
That's Kane. It's Kane.
That is crazy.
50 million Nunes to Forest FSG genius. Yeah, that's what Callum's been running this whole top red thing. It's just I'm so disappointed in Callum. It's just there's nothing I can say. But back to the football. We don't have to bully Callum, guys. He's an old guy. He's almost 40 years old. So here's the thing with this topic. You get me? Cal spoke about Kerkez. Ait Nouri, here we go. Can you not mention Ait Nouri, please? I actually like Ait Nouri.
You want us to sign Ait Nouri?
Yeah, so don't talk about him.
Oh no, Cal, please talk about Ait Nouri, please. You've got my permission. You've got my permission to talk about him.
Come on, Sam, bro. No, not Ait Nouri, bro. He's brilliant going forward, but defensively, goodness me, man, what are we doing? Balance, bro. Balance.
Calm. Anyway, good. Don't talk about him. So we're in a good place. Cal mentioned Ekitike. Yeah, we're done. Liam, right? Add his name to the list as well.
Liam. Liam's been rocking with us for a while as well. Liam, that one hurts, man.
Yeah, keep writing down names.
Even your own brother is turning on you now.
Look. I'll be honest. So again, this isn't meant to be public news, but me and Jamie we're strictly just content creators who work together now. The term friends, I don't know if we can use that anymore because he said some stuff about Stefan Bajcetic yesterday that really it's put a dampener on our friendship, man. So we will continue making content together, but the term friend, it's a wide term in it. So
what was said about Bajcetic that upset you so much?
Called him a bum, dog s. Says the sooner we sell him, the better. Just very hurtful things that I didn't expect to come from Jamie.
Oh,
it's just business now, Jay.
Why is the Coppish community just turned into Hollywood wrestling where they're all just against each other in fucking corporate suits? What's happening?
Because the reason why Liverpool can't be great is Callum Sanderson. That's the reason. Because every time he speaks on someone, the guy just doesn't come to Liverpool Football Club. It's just unbelievable the way that he operates. It's just mad. See, Maze, add Maze to the list. I'm telling you, I literally got 7 messages from 7 different people. Castor messaged me yesterday. He's like, please talk to Callum. Please talk. They're begging me. They're like, just stop him from talking.
Just because I create the title doesn't mean I speak and say it's gonna happen.
Introvert music label, you can add him to the list. You get me? You can add MKH to the list.
I'm actually running out of paper.
Cal said contract of Salah is far. Salah contract, here we go. So you're going to stop one of the greatest players ever from renewing. This topic specifically don't talk about. I beg you. Don't talk.
I don't think he's going to stay though. Daily Smith with Jed Spence. I did speak about Jed Spence. That is true.
To be fair, Danny up the Reds got a good point as well. How big we want like Mushalovsky and Balagizi, where you like hyping them up because their careers have went down the fucking.
Add Danny to the list. Well. Danny can't stand you. Like
he was right. So he was hyping up James Balagizi as well.
I used to call Musialski Messialski. That's
oh my god, they're putting a price tag. How much to get Callum off the Monday morning shows?
Oh my days. So you want to take food off my kid's plate now? Is that what we're saying, guys? You know, I'm full time doing this in it, guys. Like I got a family to feed it. This is what it's come to. Liverpool's more important than my kids, guys. This is what we're doing now. This is shocking behavior. So much for you'll never walk alone. So much for you.
I'm not going to say anything, but Alexander Isak does win us a second league title. So you know,
this is true. Jamie, don't even try this with this community because you know someone would actually pay that. So don't even try. I promise you, there's someone out there who will actually pay that. This community is mad. I like. Listen, my community is the most toxic community on YouTube. We're built different.
I reckon Cal needs to make an agreement. If someone done a 200 quid super chat this stream, Cal doesn't do Monday shows for like 2 weeks.
You gotta run that by, but that means more work for Matt Drift. So you're gonna have to run that by them.
No, you're gonna have to run that by them. You're one third of the channel.
It's for the good of the club.
You have to message
I'm sure they see that.
Like it's for the good of this club. You guys are gonna have to do the Monday morning show.
I don't think they're gonna be too keen on doing the Monday morning show.
Oh, well, I guess the Monday morning show's cancelled then.
Jamie, welcome to Coppish, mate. Welcome to Coppish Full Time. You need someone to take them Monday morning shows.
There you have it. The solution right there. Jamie Phillips solo stream on Coppish. Let's go. I actually think that bangs. And he's not a jinx.
The only thing with Jamie, he'll get us to monetize real quick.
No, but then you're gonna have to listen. You have to get him to sign a contract. No cancelable statements, please.
You think Jamie's gonna adhere to the contract?
Very good point.
He'll laugh at the contract. Yeah. He will laugh at that contract.
That's mad. That is mad. Anyway, back to the football.
You're gonna end up bringing one of us to one at some point.
It's gonna have to be one of you guys then.
Tom's free.
I'm all right to do it as long as I'm on the intro. If you edit that video intro and get me on the intro.
All jokes aside, we are redoing the intro, and you're going to be on the intro.
Am I going to be on the intro?
No, we don't need this.
Yeah, we'll have to, Husam, I suppose, isn't it? I'm joking. You're going to be. You're going to be on it. I'm joking. You're going to be on it.
You'll have to. Yeah. You're such a fraud. You are such a fraud, Callum. Like, we're going to have to. So back to the football. Me and Callum do agree, though. Why? So, like, Tom is worried just because it's the derby. That's his logic.
You win the game.
Jerry, I don't understand why you're worried, though, at Anfield.
Both. The derby, the fact that Liverpool have lost 2 on the bounce. You could look at it and think, yeah, they'll come back stronger, but we've seen Liverpool come back after international breaks and it hasn't been great in terms of performance. Now, we still might win the game, as Tom said. We could do a 1-0 or 2-0, but it's, it's a tricky game. I would, obviously, in an ideal situation, I think all of you guys would want a good performance to come with the result as well, to kind of reassure the fans from a football perspective that, yeah, look, that was a little blip. And yeah, we're going again and we're going to be serious about winning the league. And there's not going to be any slip-ups, no external narratives coming about, oh, Liverpool going to bottle it. Liverpool drop points, Arsenal going to get back. I don't want to hear that. I just don't want to hear that. So that's my biggest worry, to be fair. If Liverpool do win, yeah, good, business as usual. But I just think it's going to be difficult purely because it's mad to say it probably means more. This particular game means more to Everton because that's the only thing they've got going for them, really.
I understand where you're coming from, but I just think based off of pride alone, I think we're going to win the game. Like, I don't think the players are going to lose 3 in a row. Like, the fact that we got knocked out by PSG, lost to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final, I think the players would want to bounce back. Like, I think they're actually hyped up, excited. We ain't played football in a long time. We didn't have the FA Cup weekend either. So I think this is a thing where, like, I really expect players alone turning up to be enough for us to beat Everton. And David Moyes' record at Anfield is horrendous. Like, the guy has a horrible record at Anfield. And Everton do really well against us at Goodison, but never at Anfield. That's the thing.
Can I say something? Have we blown out of proportion a little bit the fact that we lost to PSG, who are arguably top 5 best teams in Europe, potentially?
Top 3. They're still unbeaten in League One.
You prove my point even more, then, bro. And then we lost to Newcastle, who on their day can beat any team in the Premier League. Have we kind of blown it out of proportion a little bit? Like, granted, the performances were terrible. We got played off the park by PSG and we got bullied by Newcastle.
I don't think we got played off the park by PSG.
But you said the reason why it's not blown off proportion.
Newcastle was a bad one, but I thought we held our own in PSG. My worry isn't.
I think the first 15 minutes we did, Tom, and then once they got the goals, they controlled the game.
I think the second half. I think the second half was all us until Trent went off injured.
I don't remember
that spell. Yeah. I think it was that spell when Trent
we had a spell. Yeah, when we got this goal that got disallowed. That's
and even then, like for 10-15 minutes after he went off, like Quanta at the post, and like we were still knocking on the door. It was the moment we went into extra time and McAllister went off. We were fucked because we had no one who could.
Alisson was still pulling off great saves. Alisson was still pulling off great saves in that game.
But that's going to happen. That they cleared 2 shots off the line against us. Like it is what it is. But I thought we were better against PSG. Newcastle was a bad one.
I think I don't know with PSG. I think Liverpool at their worst are always going to go and create chances because that's how good Liverpool can be, especially in transition. So Liverpool are going to have chances. But when you look at it on the whole, I didn't come out of that PSG game thinking, "Oh, we're so unlucky to not win that game." It was that they deserved it, and I think the fact that I felt like that, and I know a lot of Liverpool fans felt like that. Coupled with, it was the 2 ways in which we got.
Do we think we're saying that though because of the leg beforehand, like the fact that they battered us so convincingly in the game beforehand that we're looking at that with a sort of like bit of a tint on the second leg? I
think we just expected better of our players than of our manager. That's not a crazy statement to make because I think Enrique took Slot to the house, like when it comes to like out tacting him completely. Like, I genuinely think that it was an Enrique masterclass. We did exactly what, like, listen, Arne Slot this season should win Manager of the Year. He should absolutely win Manager of the Year. Big up to you, JB. I think he should win Manager of the Year. I think the only one who should be in contention with Slot for Manager of the Year is Nuno Santo because of the job he's done at Forest. But other than that, bro, like, he should be Manager of the season. But when it comes to that game, like, specifically, bro, like, we just got schooled. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, we just got schooled. And it's not the way that we played away in Paris. It's the fact that we won. You went away to Paris. You won 1-0. Like, you came back to your own backyard with a 1-0 lead. And you got eliminated in your own backyard whilst playing like dog shit. That's the problem. Like and it's not blown out of proportion. And you want to know?
I don't think.
And I'm not
think we
really
were
saying,
bad in
Tom.
the
Let me
zone,
just
like-
say this quickly. I'm not even saying like, I'm not saying this like to put Callum on blast or anything, but I do feel like a lot of the times why do we change our energy before a game and after a game? And this is something that a lot of people do, and it genuinely gets on my nerves. Like before the Liverpool PSG game, we all said we're gonna go through.
Yeah,
And we all said we're one of the contenders to win the Champions League. Before the Newcastle game, we're like, oh yeah, we lost to PSG, but let's go get the double now. Let's go beat Newcastle at Wembley. Oh, look, Newcastle's record against us is horrible. The record against us, the record at Wembley is horrible. We have to win, like winning a knockout trophy will be amazing and blah, blah, blah. But and as soon as we lose those 2 games, and I think Arne Slot is mostly at fault for both because he got out tactic by both managers. Don't even get me started on the Eddie Howe because Eddie Howe schooled him too. Like, we're sat here acting like it's okay that we lost. No, it's not.
Yeah, that for me is just the biggest worry. Not I don't want to say worry. I think that's the wrong word to use. But when I look at it, I'm like, all right, we got outdone from a footballing perspective against Luis Enrique, which is cool. So our physicality didn't really work against them, which is fine. But against Newcastle, our footballing didn't do the talking, and we got outmuscled, which is where I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know, if this was like a football inside, and we were strictly just powerhouse team, I'd look at it and be like, all right, cool, it's just one of them games. But now I just don't know what Liverpool's going to turn up, because if Everton decide to try and bully us all over the park with their players that they've got, are we going to see something similar? Because they did it at Goodison, and that for me is something that I've just got in my mind. Now, you know, you went and spoke about, you were like, look, the team's going to be up for it. You know, it's at, they lost 2 on the bounce. They're going to have some pride. I would have thought they would have had that pride in the final.
Yeah.
You know, the final, when we actually were fighting for something. Whereas now, to Tom's point, it's a bit of like all right, worst case scenario, you draw this game. I don't know. You can still win the title in the next couple of games anyway if Arsenal drop points. You're not solely reliant on that particular game. And I think that's where, you know, you could, I don't know, we'll see the mentality of the players, really, to be fair. But I'm not sure where their heads are at.
Yeah, well, the reason why I brought, like, you're completely correct, but I'm just bringing it up in a different, like, side of things. I'm saying, look,
I get it.
You lost 2 games in a row, right? You lost 2 games in a row. We got out tactics and we got destroyed by both managers. I think that, like, just based off of, like, you know, their just based off of, like, their pride, I don't think they will be okay with us losing 3 games in a row and performing like dog shit again. Like, I think the players, like, in the first 15-10 minutes, have to turn up and put on a performance. Like, that's honestly what I think. Because I do think the way that they played, the whole team, to be fair, was dog shit. And I think Slot got outcoached as well. But we have to turn up, man. We just have to turn up. We can't
well, I
fuck
will
around.
say, you see the Everton game, everyone speaks about how we got bullied in the first game and all that. Again, let's not forget, were it not for Michael Oliver being the centre of attention, we win that game. And Everton don't even get close to us in that match. The fact that Everton were allowed to get away with so much and build momentum off the back of cheating, if we're going to be honest, and then get the goal that they got at the end and everything. We have any other referee that day, we win that game, and I think we win it pretty comfortably. I'm not worried about this game. Not even in an arrogant way. We're better than them everywhere on the pot. We've had a break. A lot of these players have had a break. I think Slot has had a well-deserved and well-needed break as well.
Yeah.
We'll come back fresh and we'll do the business, man.
And I also just hate the derby. I've never liked the derby. I never do like it. I only enjoy the derby after the derby's happened. I don't enjoy the build up to it or it being there. It's just the worst game in the city. I think that we got beat by PSG because they are a technically superior side to us, and they passed through us when they wanted to, and they played through our press every single time they wanted to. The only time they couldn't was when we just went all out in the first 15 minutes and the second half, and we were forcing Donnarumma to kick the ball out for throw-ins and penning them in, and we just couldn't score any of them chances. Against Newcastle, we couldn't play out of their press. We could. Anytime they pressed us, Gravenberch can't pass out of a press very well. So he always has to try and turn out of it, but Newcastle were waiting for that. We weren't getting the ball into McAllister, which meant that he couldn't play out the press. Newcastle were just funneling the ball out to Quansah, who's not very good on the ball, and forcing us to go long to Diaz, who's not going to do anything. or forcing us to go long to Josh, who's not going to do anything. We couldn't play out of their press, and they were getting the ball every time they wanted to.
Speaking of, are you starting Kerkez, Tom? People have actually fully brought this up, like as a reward of scoring at Wembley.
It's a weird one because he's probably. I don't like any of the striking options that we've got, but I also don't want Federico Chiesa's first Premier League start to be up against Tarkowski because the man will just break him. I'm quite happy for him to come off the bench and get 20 to 30 minutes, but I just don't think he should be starting up front against Everton. Who have we got after Everton? Is it Fulham? I'd start him against Fulham. Fulham's the kind of team that you could start a Chiesa against, but I don't think he should be starting up front against Tarkowski, Jacob Bryan, all them lot. That's one where I'd send Nunes for the Wolves and just fucking watch him piss everyone off again.
Go again, Tom.
Are you trying to sabotage us or something?
I
get it. You want him gone.
No options. We've got no options. It's either I start Diaz and I'm fucked. I start Jota and I'm fucked. I start Nunes and I'm fucked. Or I start Chiesa and he gets fucked. Like there's no way we win. We don't have a good striker.
So why don't we just go Diaz false 9 then?
Because Diaz false 9.
Isn't Gakpo back now? You can play Gakpo left wing. Diaz false 9.
Gakpo's back, but Diaz false 9 doesn't work against a defense that doesn't want to commit to him.
Nunes striker works against who? Against which
Nunes
side?
is spacing behind though. Nunes is spacing behind. So if there's no spacing behind that point, is that?
That's the thing. None of our strikers work against the way Everton want to play, but the only guy who could work, if he's not being a dickhead, which isn't going to happen, but I can at least say, Slot, you made the right call based on on his profile is Nunes. He's the only one who can actually win a fucking header.
No, he can't. No, he doesn't.
No, he can't. He's horrible.
He doesn't win headers.
I am not saying that he will do. I'm saying he's the only one that can do. Jota ain't winning shit against Tarkowski. Diaz ain't winning shit against Tarkowski. Nunes should, but he won't.
But why are we crossing the ball against their play? We need to just play it on the ground and keep it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quick patterns around the box. I don't want to be crossing the ball
down like that.
But why not? That's the point.
Because that's what Everton wants us to do. Tarkowski and Branthwaite are just going to stand there watching us pass it around the edge. And
but that's my point. You've got to be intricate. What they want is for us to be like, we can't play like that, so let's just put balls into the box because they want to head the ball away. The reason why you're in a low block.
We can't be intricate because we don't have the striker to be intricate. And
so just go Diaz false 9 and play Gakpo left.
Luis Diaz is not intricate. Whether you like it or not, Luis Diaz is not an intricate false 9.
It's a lot more intricate than Darwin.
No one is intricate in our front line. No one can receive the ball in a tight space.
Why are you acting like it's just intricate or not intricate? There is levels to this. Like at least Diaz had a good first touch.
Right. There is levels, but none of them are intricate enough to do what we need to do to break through that Everton defence in the way that Jerry's saying you should do, which I agree with. You need to be intricate with your build-up, play through the lines, try and drag a centre-back out with it, and play into the space that is vacated. The problem is
this game to end
Luis Diaz does not have the thing in there to be intricate.
But you are vouching for someone with no brain, so it makes no sense.
Yes, Husam, I don't want to.
You can't say Diaz doesn't have this, and then you say start Darwin.
I don't want Husam. As I said, I don't like any striking option that we've got at the minute. I don't want. If I could, I'd play none of them. I've got to play one of them, so I'll just play with the fella who can actually handle the physicality.
Stop moving the goalpost. We get it. You don't like any striker that you have, but everything that you're saying comes in levels. Okay. Diaz and Nunes don't have this, but Diaz has this a lot more than Nunes does. Diaz is not intricate, but he's a lot more intricate than Nunes is.
Did Nunes play international duty? Did Nunes play on international duty?
I think he did, yeah.
But they all went on international duty.
I hate to break it to you, Jota's starting.
Jota also went on international duty.
Yeah, I think it probably be Jota who started.
Yeah, but they've gone South America, isn't it?
Yeah, but they came back a week ago, so it's not like the one where they come back on the Thursday and they play on the Saturday. They came back on the Thursday and we're playing on the Wednesday. That sort of thing doesn't necessarily come into effect.
Yeah, that could change it.
That's a point.
I think we should just go Diaz false 9 and Gakpo on the left.
Honestly, I just think you put your hand in the bag, whatever number comes out, you just go with it. It's as real as that because none of them are reliable. You just gotta hope Gakpo's on form. If Gakpo's on form, then we're fine. If he's not, then I mean, I'd sit here and say let's start Chiesa, but we all know that ain't happening. So
yeah, that's not happening.
I don't want to give Chiesa's first Premier League start against Tarkowski. He'll fucking break the ball, lad.
I don't want Kerkez to start as a number 9, but I would like to see Kerkez and Gakpo rotate left wing between now and the end of the season.
I wouldn't mind Case up front because I don't want to see anyone else up front.
No,
I wish we had Jaden Dans. That's the point I'm at. I wish we had Jaden Dans. I'd
He's been
rather
injured
play
though, hasn't
Jaden
he?
Dans.
He's been injured since he moved to
Oh,
Sunderland.
for fuck's sake. Why do we have no striker that alley? How the fuck do we have 3 players who play up front and none of them are good? None of them. I'm at a point where I'm thinking, remember Salah against City in 2022 when he was doing up target man all on his own with Firmino in behind? Might just have to do that again because he's the only one I'd trust in and around the box.
All right, so if we go Salah through the middle, then Elliot from the right.
Elliot or Chiesa, I don't mind.
I don't like Chiesa from the right because I feel like that stops him.
Limit his game, yeah.
Yeah, he's horrible.
But I don't think he's this guy who likes cut in and whip it. I think he's someone who likes to hit it across.
No, he's the
goal.
type to cut in and shoot. He's a
No,
shooter.
I think he's good enough where he can play across goal. His goal against Accrington Stanley was basically showing his strength. And it's not much, but it's what we've got to go off. His goal against Accrington Stanley was off the right where he was showing his pace and his power.
Tom, yeah, look, he's going to want to cut in because any winger's going to go and try to force you down the line to block it off, especially Everton, because they've got players in the box that's going to be packed out. So he's going to have to cut in. And when he cuts in, I don't know,
He's got a decent left foot.
He looks stiff. Yeah, but he looks stiff at the moment. He looks like he's had a hip replacement, if we're being honest. Like, yeah, he had the good goal, I mean, in the Carabao Cup, 100%. But since then, has anyone been convinced about his performances? No. And that's I can't be playing.
What if we had to go off?
But that's my point. I've had nothing to go off, so I can't then say, yeah, you know what, we can play him on the right and in the derby. No. Down Brantford's side.
How the fuck are we winning this league? By the way, none of us like any of our attackers, but Salah and Gakpo.
Because they've all had moments this season where they've contributed, and Salah's had an all-worldly season.
Which he won't replicate next year, which is exactly why we need a forward.
Me personally, I think Gakpo's had a purple patch as well.
Yeah.
I don't think. No, it isn't like he's been outstanding the whole season. He's had a purple patch, and when he's rotated, especially in the Carabao Cup, he's been outstanding.
I think it's more than a purple patch with Gakpo. Purple patch is like what Diaz does at the start of every season, where it's 4 games.
Argument incoming. Let's go.
No,
it is though. Gakpo got what was it? He scored in 8 Anfield games in a row. That's slightly longer than a purple patch.
Are you a Diaz guy, Jay?
Yeah, I just think Diaz doesn't suit Liverpool. I just think he doesn't suit Liverpool at all. I just don't. I
don't think he suits football personally, but hey ho.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
So where do you think he'd thrive at Barcelona?
I think not necessarily Barcelona. I think it's a team that allows. I think Diaz was at his best even at Liverpool when he first came, and Klopp said, "Ignore whatever our system is, just do what you're good at." And he was able to just do stuff off the cuff. He was able to just go and be a maverick of sorts. After that, you had to start to kind of abide by what Klopp wanted and then by what Slot wants. And I think within a system, it just doesn't work. I think you go look at, for example, for Colombia, and I think it's all of them. I think even like Gakpo and stuff. For their international teams, they're the guys. Gakpo scores on international duty. Diaz scores every single time in international duty, no matter who the competition is. Right, whether it's Spain when they played here and I watched that game, whether it's Brazil, he's scoring goals and he's getting assists and he's affecting the game. But I don't know whether that happens at Liverpool. Personally,
it doesn't happen at Liverpool because they're not the main guy for Liverpool in the.
But that's my point. But that's my point.
I think then what you need to be is a good facilitator. Gakpo can facilitate. Gakpo is able to bring others into the game better than Diaz is.
I don't know. We say Gakpo's a good facilitator. I think Gakpo is at his best.
Gakpo can facilitate.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. For me, Gakpo at his best is when he's so direct. He just goes and says, I'm just taking a shot.
Yeah.
When Gakpo does the other stuff, like he tries to run down a cul-de-sac and then cut back in and give it back to Robbo, he's terrible.
Gakpo's not a facilitator at all.
He's direct and he's like, I'm shooting, especially in the Carabao Cup. Which
he has got a decent cross to the back post.
But Gakpo's like more direct than anything. Like he's cutting and shoot type winger, which I don't have a problem with.
Gakpo's decision making is
don't
much
come up
better
here and tell me he's a
Diaz's.
facilitator because he.
I think he is because his decision making is better. If Gakpo's cutting inside, yes. If Gakpo's cutting inside, he will make the correct decision between shooting putting a floater cross into the back post or playing to the overlap. Diaz doesn't.
I disagree with that. He does it better than Diaz, but I still wouldn't say he's like that. Genuine question for everyone here. Over the next 2 years, would you look to replace all of our forwards barring Salah?
Yes, 100%.
I think we need to replace Salah as well. To be fair,
big on
over the next
Gakpo.
2 years.
I'm big on Gakpo.
Yes.
I'm not
After 2 years, we might need to replace him
Gakpo
too.
changed my opinion on it. I'd like to keep Gakpo as a rotational left winger, but for me, I do think we could upgrade on Gakpo. But I think he's the least of our worries.
Yeah, I think all of them. I think all of them can be upgraded on, like all of them.
Yeah.
Apart from Salah.
Apart from Salah, but in 2 years' time, you have to start having conversations about what you're doing next. You can't be going up to 40 and Salah still being your right winger. You start to become Udinese to me. But no, I just don't think. Look, I think in their own right, I think all those players, if they are the guy in the team and the systems around them and they can play, I think they're all top quality players. Hence why Diaz isn't linked with going to Southampton or flipping Brighton or wherever. He's been linked with going to Barca because they see that he's the player there. And for them, maybe it's someone where they can fling on. It's like, just do your thing. I don't know how Barca work. I don't even watch their games like that anymore since they've been on Revista de Liga.
And the flick system,
Liverpool,
like a lot more direct than anything. You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
not prototypical tiki-taka. Way more attacking, way more pressing, way more aggressive. Like a lighter version of club ball.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
I'm willing to stick by. I think Gakpo. I just like his skill set. I think what Gakpo is a very effective footballer and a very efficient footballer.
Yeah, Habibi, we agree. I think he's a direct winger. I think he's a shooter, which is something we need. Our problem was the statement facilitator because he's not. Because the only one that facilitates in our front three is Salah. That's it. That's the only facilitator we have. No one else facilitates. Facilitates means the chances that you create for others in bulk, the way that you dictate tempo for the front three, the way that you're actively involved in almost every attack.
Obviously, Salah is the main facilitator in the Liverpool team.
Can you not be like wrong and strong? Please.
No.
One time in your life.
I will be strong.
Like, okay, guys, I will be
strong. I'm not wrong. No. At the end of the day, Salah is the main facilitator, so everything goes through Salah. But when the ball comes down the left-hand side, Gakpo is better at carving out chances for others than Diaz is.
I think the difference is that when you're playing with Gakpo, and this is why I go back to why Gakpo might be a bit better. He plays on the left hand this season, plays on the left hand side, is because what happens is Salah starts to get more of the ball. He drags players towards him, and then Gakpo's free. The difference is Diaz at his best drags players towards him. So what you see with Diaz, even if you don't think he's having a good game, look at PSG or Newcastle. He gets the ball, he tries to shift across, and he's trying to find Salah as early as possible to get him in 1v1 to go and have the chance.
Right. Jerry,
the difference is
Diaz had a good game against Newcastle.
I didn't say he had a good game though. Why are you putting words in my mouth? I didn't say that.
No, that's why
I didn't say that. I said Diaz at his best.
I asked, do you think?
I said Diaz at his best, even if you were to look at that game. So that's despite of what you think about that game. I'm saying when Diaz goes and they feed Diaz attracts 2-3 players towards him, and then he goes and tries to release into the middle. Not saying it's the best in the world, not saying anything like that, but I'm saying that's where it's different. That's why when you've got Gakpo can be better off the ball. He doesn't need the ball to feet. Gakpo's runs are better. I think his movement's really, really good. And I think that's where Salah can release him. Hence why we've seen Salah cut in, play that ball over the top, and Gakpo's there for a header or a tap in the back post more often than not. But Gakpo as a facilitator,
but that space is still there for Diaz because they don't. Teams when Diaz plays on the left don't suddenly go, right, we'll take a man off Salah so we can put it on Diaz. They keep the men on Salah. Diaz has the space, he just doesn't take it as well.
No, I disagree. I think if you were to go and look at with Diaz, if you're defending from a tactical side of things, Salah, of course, you're on him, right? But Salah, you're trying to keep away from the ball as much as possible. So Salah will probably drop deeper. Hence why he's in positions where he plays the Trevella passes, gets the ball from deeper areas. He's not last man as he was back in the day. Mm-hmm. Diaz, a lot of the time, will be last man. But when he's getting it, teams are trying to stop him advancing up the pitch. Because if you stop Diaz, then he cuts back inside. You can then retreat as a team. Hence why when Salah now gets it, there's just a wall of two. There's literally, you've got the back four and the midfield four. That for me is the difference. When Salah gets the ball, right, and Salah's doing that, you have to go and stop the player that's advancing. So everyone shifts across. You then have the space for Gakpo. And I think Gakpo, in terms of his runs and movement, I think Dutch players are like that anyway. I think they're really, really effective.
Can I ask a question?
Gakpo's just a lot. He just works a lot more with Salah than the others do, in my honest opinion. And I think with like here's the thing. I think it was Jamie who brought this up. Like I think things are in tiers. Like Salah is the A-star tier, and then you got Gakpo in like B. I'm not gonna say A because it's very unfair, so I'm gonna say B. I would put Diaz in C, Jota in C, Nunes in F. So I'm looking. It's true. I swear. I'm not even like. I swear he's in there.
Where's Chiesa then?
Chiesa is probably in C, D.
In the basement somewhere.
Yeah, D. Probably D tier. Get me.
Chiesa hasn't got enough minutes to qualify.
Thing is, the truth of the matter is they're all upgradable on. They all are. Kvaratskhelia is an upgrade on Diaz. Mbuemo's an upgrade on Jota. We can all mention players that are upgrades on players that we currently have.
That's what I wanted to ask you.
As an example, Nico Williams, Bilbao. Some people say he's a younger version of Diaz. Yeah, but because he's young, you'd be willing to give him that time to become better. Because he might become like this.
I think that's the point that I was trying to get to, and I probably wasn't saying it right. Gakpo's profile is a lot harder to upgrade on in terms of what I think he's really good at. In terms of, I don't think there's many wingers who are younger than him and are better at being as big of a threat in the final third as he is off the left-hand side, in terms of his height, in terms of his ball striking ability, in terms of his ability to pick out players at the back post with the cross. I think he is deceptively creative in terms of the chances that he can create for others that sometimes aren't finished. His natural instinct. I think Gakpo, in terms of left wingers on the market, I don't think there's people that can do that. In terms of Diaz is one of the more common winger profiles, a quick man who can beat his fullback. Now, I don't think he does that very well either, Diaz, but that's by the by. I just don't really like Diaz. But that type of winger, you can find wingers who are younger than Diaz, who are as good, if not better, at beating their fullback.
Nico Williams could become Diaz, but with effectiveness, essentially, is what I'm saying, just because of his age. Because he's 21, he has that dribbling ability. He has that, like, you know, getting in behind and etc. And at the same time, if you give him time, he might become effective. Maybe he has a season where he has 15 and 10, 20 and 15, whatever it is. He could have that in the future at some point in time. But in this current moment in time, just based off the fact that we have Salah, he works with Gakpo because Gakpo is direct. Gakpo is not a facilitator at all. Tom's 100% wrong on that one. He does not facilitate in any way, shape, or form. He's a direct winger. He cuts in and he shoots. He's direct. He's a shooter. As a matter of fact, I actually think Diaz probably facilitates better than Gakpo does. Facilitation, bro. You know what? You don't even understand English, Tom. You just say buzzwords to act smart, and you know for a fact you're fucking waffling. The word facilitate means creativity. Okay, it means. How do you dictate tempo for the front three? If you look at this team and think there is any facilitator besides Salah,
this team?
No. Let me speak.
Does this team create more chances when Gakpo is on the left than Diaz? Yes.
Can I say something?
You can be a facilitator.
That's because Salah has a direct winger to play it to.
You can facilitate without directly touching the ball.
I want to be wrong. That's wrong.
I shall be honest with you. You're gonna hate me saying this. You're both gonna hate me saying this. Nunes is more of a facilitator than the other strikers apart from Salah.
I'm out.
He actually is. He doesn't make the best decisions, but he actually facilitates more. And the reason I say that is because he does get into dangerous spaces. He does pass the ball to Salah when he needs to. He's just not very good at it. But he's more of a facilitator than the others.
But do you think that's because he gets the ball more than anyone else?
Yeah, possibly. But
yeah,
by the way, he's still not good. But
yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying from a statistical standpoint.
Not even from a statistical. Even when you watch him, that's why everyone called him Chaos, because he was facilitating for the other forwards, because he was doing stupid stuff and stuff that didn't make sense, but it was offsetting other people's defenses. It's just that he doesn't know how to control his creativity. Yeah. He doesn't know how to harness his footballing ability or lack thereof. But he's more facilitated than Diaz.
I think that's good. You can facilitate. Facilitating is more than just, are you good at passing? Can you pick out team? You can facilitate in different ways. Nunes is a really good facilitator,
but he's not a good footballer.
He's a shit footballer, but the runs that he makes means he's a really good facilitator of creating space for others because he drags people with him. and he makes runs which create space.
I know it's not the
There's
same.
but there is aspects to facilitation. Facilitation is not a black and white. This is what it is. There is multiple ways you can facilitate for a person.
So
I
let me
think
ask you guys.
Gakpo facilitates for this team because he's very good at operating in space and creating opportunities for others to run into space.
So, question then, boys. If I was to say to you right now, we lose Jota, Diaz, and Nunes in the summer, we keep Kerkez, Gakpo, and Salah. How many attackers are you bringing in? Who would they be realistically?
I'm still bringing in 2 to start personally, and who they are, I'm gonna be honest. I'm in the top red camp with Husam. Just whoever in it. If it's Ekatike, cool. That is what it is. Like at this point, I don't know, but all I know is that for me, I don't look at Gakpo and think, yeah, like this is Liverpool's winger, man. He's a star. Like he's gonna. I don't look at that at all.
This is the first time in 5 years of streaming I've seen someone bring up a dictionary definition.
Collins Oxford Dictionary.
Facilitate.
Hold on, but the definition of facilitator is too.
You and Callum are both going to get muted because you've already ruined the quality of the word. And you've ruined the whole thing when it comes to this thing. Jerry's the only one that gets the word facilitate when it comes to
Look at the synonyms. Help. Gakpo
Look at
helps the
this.
team without
To
touching the ball.
facilitate an action or process you would like to happen means to make it easier or more likely to happen.
So you can facilitate without.
One second,
you can
one second.
facilitate in
Can I
multiple
speak?
ways.
Can I speak? Can I speak? Let me speak. When it comes to facilitating for the front three, the reason why Gakpo being there makes us create more chances is because Gakpo is more direct winger, which means Salah has the opportunity to cross it to someone who makes the run in behind. The reason why when Nunes is there, we might create more chances.
But
It's
isn't that
because
more
of
player
chaos.
chemistry then. That's more.
It's
player
because
chemistry.
of his pace. It's not because of his creativity. So when it comes to the word facilitate means that you create for the front three. The
doesn't
perfect
mean
example of a facilitator is
That
the
is
greatest.
not the. You've got had the definition there. Where in that definition did it say to facilitate is to create?
It's not to create Husam.
Facilitation in football terms is you dictating tempo, you creating, you making everyone's life around you easier.
It's not all the time.
That's
It's
facilitating.
It's not because I'll say that Dirk Kuyt under Rafa Benitez was a great facilitator, but he was a terrible creator and he wasn't a great goal scorer. But he facilitated that system.
Dirk Kuyt.
Yeah, of course he did. Dirk Kuyt was a brilliant facilitator.
My boy, Cal, my boy, come on.
No, he's a brilliant facilitator. But he was never great. He was never great at creativity.
Jerry, I cannot do this. I cannot do this anymore.
So we sitting because I know your go-to is going to be Firmino. I know your go-to is going to be to Firmino.
It's not about go-to. The perfect example of a facilitator in football is Lionel Messi in the MSN.
Oh, for fucking, you know what? Fucking Messi. Oh, Messi.
Messi's just
We
all
always have
worldly,
Messi,
bro.
don't we?
Messi's not just
That's the
he's
perfect
just all
example because
worldly.
perfection doesn't exist in football, but the closest that comes to it
Hold on,
is Messi.
if we're going to talk about MSN, Suarez was a facilitator in that system, not Messi.
Okay, guys, let me read the super chats and
Of
move on
course
to
he
the.
was.
to the- Let me.
MSN wasn't
Man just said Messi
and
was
Neymar
not a
weren't working
facilitator.
together until Suarez came through.
Messi was not a facilitator, Jerry. You just heard this.
No,
Sure.
Jerry, you never heard me say
Suarez
that.
was more of a
You ne-
facilitator than Messi.
Suarez was. Suarez
So you
was
think?
more of a
So you think
facilitator. Hold
assist
on.
is facilitating?
Jerry, I'm going to ask you a question. Who's more of a in the Ronaldo, Bale, and Benzema system in that front three? Who was the facilitator there?
It was Benzema.
Benzema.
So why? So where am I wrong with Suarez being a facilitator for Messi and
So you're
Neymar?
because it's not the same.
Why is it not the same?
Because Benzema dropped deep and he was the false nine, so Ronaldo and Bale could get.
So
in,
you don't think
like,
Suarez used to drop deep? You don't think Suarez used to create? You don't think Suarez used to occupy centre backs that gave Messi
the
more
guy
space?
that did it the most for Barcelona is the greatest player of all time, Lionel
was-
Messi.
He
Messi
did not facilitate
facilitated
more
and
than Suarez
dictated
did.
tempo for that whole front three. He initiated everything.
You
He
do
started
know, you
everything.
do
He
know,
created everything.
you do know Suarez was suspended when he moved to Barcelona and they had Neymar and Messi and it wasn't working. When he came into the team, they were still playing Messi through the middle. And Messi went to the boss and said, no, Suarez got to go through the middle. And when he went through the middle, everything clicked. Everything clicked. Suarez was
click.
more of a facilitator in that
Just
team than
time
Messi
to
was.
click so they could get used to each other. It's not about going through the middle or not. It's the fact that Lionel Messi was the guy that dictated tempo for that front three. When it comes to the word facilitating is essentially, as we just saw with the dictionary, is to help something, to control
If
something.
you're doing dictating tempo, then Busquets was the facilitator in that team because he was the one who dictates the tempo. But no one calls Busquets the facilitator.
First of all, the facilitator in Barcelona's midfield was Xavi, not Busquets,
No,
No.
Xavi was the controller.
which is facilitating.
No, it's not facilitating.
Hassan quite literally pulled up a definition of
The
facilitate and has
definition-
used it
The
incorrectly
definition
since.
of a facilitator is to make things easier for others, right? Busquets made things easier for everybody. He was the glue of that team.
Because
He was
broke
a
the press.
facilitator in that midfield.
Yeah, so going back to the Gakpo thing, then Gakpo doesn't make things easier to everyone. He doesn't make things easier for everyone. He doesn't make things easier for everyone just because he might be more direct. And again, he might cut inside, as Cal said, and put the cross to the back post. He doesn't. He's not someone you put in and you're like, yeah, the game's just easier when Gakpo's on the field. A lot of the time, it isn't.
I think Gakpo helps out the players around him more. I think Gakpo's
That's
IQ,
where. But that's why
I
that's
think
why I
Gakpo's
disagree.
IQ is better for when the left back wants to push forward. I think Diaz often ends up being caught when he's on the left wing. He ends up occupying the same positions the left back wants to occupy. Gakpo is a lot smarter and stays out of the space the left back wants to run into, and is able to play the underlapping ball to him.
But that's because Gakpo wants to come inside. So that Gakpo, wants to operate in that area and shoot from those areas. He doesn't want to stay out wide.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to the Palace game. In that Palace game, I can't believe I've got to give Simicast credit for this because I hate Simicast as well. But Simicast and Gakpo were the left-hand side, and their rotations were either Gakpo would come inside and occupy the space there and then play to Simicast on the overlap, or Gakpo would stand out wide, receive the ball, wait for the underlap off Simicast, play it into Simicast, and then bomb on into the space. I think that's how we got the first goal.
Shall I tell you what the coach will tell the left-hand side in that point? Whoever the left back is, you go and move off the winger. Because if Gakpo decides to, I'm going to now come inside or cut inside, he needs to make sure he's out wide. And then if all of a sudden, if you've got Gakpo and he wants to stay out wide, the fullback needs to come inside. Who was the
facilitator in our front three?
No, but when you look at Trent on the right-hand side, right, he doesn't go and tell Salah, Salah, stay out wide and I'm doing this. It's wherever Salah makes the movement, Trent has to go and operate like that. So that's a situation to do with where Robbo's comfortable with and why Robbo's playing more narrow and stuff like that. If you go and look at Diaz wants to hug the touchline to bring the players across to him.
I don't think Diaz wants to hug the touchline now.
No, he does. Gakpo naturally wants to cut inside to be able to go and take shots from those angles.
I think Diaz wants to receive the ball out wide, but I don't think Diaz wants to run down the line with it.
No, it's not about running down the line. But it's not about running down the line. It's receiving the ball out wide. The team shifts across. He then goes and tries to find the space.
It's quite pointless though to receive the ball out wide and then run inside with it, but in receiving the ball out wide, what you've done is you've blocked off the run from the left back because we end up just having zero width on that left hand side then because the left back has stayed back.
That's a tactical issue that we've seen.
No, but
especially last season.
But we don't have that tactical issue when Gakpo's out on the. At no point this season have I watched Gakpo get the ball out on the left and go, "Fucking hell, he stood on the left back."
Because Robbo naturally, what starts to happen, Robbo starts to go and stay wider. If you just go look at the heat match, Robbo's wider when Gakpo plays. Gakpo gets the ball and it's direct towards goal. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm saying the difference is when Diaz plays, it's more flipping City-esque. I'm not saying what you prefer. I'm not saying that. But as soon as that ball comes out to the wide player, he gets the ball. He drives towards the box. But as that team's shifting across, he then goes and looks to go and release the free man, right? Or play the overlap or whatever it is. Liverpool don't play like that. Hence why I think even Diaz has been playing centrally because Robbo hasn't got the legs to go up and down and overlap as he does anyway. So he stays much closer to the centre-backs. So he's much more narrow. Hence why Gakpo can get it and then the space is there as soon as Gakpo goes and cuts inside to score. I think when Gakpo's out wide and when we need to stretch a game and Gakpo's out wide, I don't think it works at all. Gakpo at his best is if you go and look at the games is when he's being direct, cuts inside and just takes shots and takes responsibility. And I think everyone on this panel would say that's when Gakpo's been at his best. That's when you look at him and be like, yeah, he's taking charge. He's not mucking about. When Gakpo's got the ball out wide, and then you got Robbo making an inverted run, and then he cuts back inside and then plays it back. He's horrible. Then it doesn't affect the game at all.
I disagree. Do I think he's as good? No, but do I think he's still effective? Yes. I think Gakpo's IQ is good enough for that point, and it's
Fair
why
enough.
it's why I look at the likes of the Palace game. Gakpo was our best player on that day because he was able to link up so well with Tsimikas and whoever was on the left-hand side of the midfield. And his movement every time was creating the space for them. And they were able to play off of him. And then as a result, he was able to play off of that. At points with Diaz, I don't think Diaz does that. I think Diaz is a very sort of... I think Diaz receives the ball and then thinks, whereas I think Gakpo thinks whilst he's receiving the ball. How many times do we, or me anyway, do I watch Diaz receive the ball out wide and then come all the way inside to get into the middle? And then he's run into a cul-de-sac into the midfield. And his only option is to try this really curved ball out wide to Salah into an area where Salah doesn't necessarily want to receive it because the fullbacks are waiting for him.
How often, just to play devil's advocate, how often do you see that happening in the game? Where Diaz gets it out wide, comes inside and then tries to play that ball into Salah? How often?
I'd say at least... It's happened more recently this season, but I'd say I'd say it's about once a game. Whether it comes off is different, but I think Diaz once a game will receive the ball close to the halfway line, run all the way inside to about 15 yards into the opposition half, into the centre, and then try and play this Callum ball out wide to the right hand side. And sometimes it comes off, but other times, most of the time.
So if he doesn't do that, then that's clearly an instruction. If you're saying that he's doing it every single game.
But why doesn't Gakpo then do that? If it was an instruction,
because there's different requirements, there's different profiles of player. You can't expect Gakpo. He's not asking Gakpo to play in the false nine for a reason because he doesn't think he's got the ability to. There's a reason why Diaz is playing down the centre and not Gakpo. Because
Jerry,
Klopp looked at it completely differently. Klopp played Gakpo down the centre.
I'd agree with you, Jerry. I'd agree with you, Jerry. If up front we were doing that, i.e. when Jota plays, we were telling Jota to stay further up and not drop as deep because Jota can't do the false nine, but we make Jota do the false nine. At the start, he wanted to do that with Núñez as well. He wanted Núñez to be dropping in to play alongside Szoboszlai. So for me, I don't think Slot is saying when Diaz is out wide, you play it this way. And when Gakpo is out wide, you play it that way. I think he has a way he wants his left wingers to play. And some are just better at it than others.
But I don't think it's that. I think you have to look at the profile of winger that you have, and you have to work with what you've got. If you go and look at how Salah is playing this season, it's nothing like what his wingers did at Feyenoord or wherever he was. It's nothing of the sort. It's completely different because Salah's got a different skill set to whoever was Minta or whoever that winger was. Do you know what I mean? Or whoever played out wide for them. I think that Diaz and Gakpo are completely different players. They play differently. They've all got their strengths. They've all got their weaknesses, whether you like them or not. What I'm saying is when I'm looking at Gakpo, I think Gakpo, reason why on the left wing is at his best is because Diaz can then drop in and can play in those areas and can cut inside and spread the ball out or whatever. And Gakpo can be more direct, whereas Diaz isn't as direct as a player. And I think that's why when we've seen the best of Gakpo, it's when he's been direct. It's not when he's been linking up and, do you know what I mean, dropping the shoulder on someone. No. It's when he's been attacking his fullback, cutting inside and letting off shots. Now, that's the Gakpo I want to see. I don't want to see this other version of Gakpo when he's out wide and trying to do something else like he was at the beginning of the season. I didn't like it at all.
I think he has that in his locker, though. I think the game against Ipswich sticks in my mind. Yeah, again, you got the goal where he makes the run on the back post from across. But there's assist for Salah in that game against Ipswich. The amount we effectively went through him more than Salah at points in that first half because he would drop off the right back and into that little space on the edge of the box, and his quality of pass or the way he could shape up for the shot and then play it to the left back, that was killing Ipswich. I think he has that in his locker. I just don't think Diaz has the IQ that Gakpo has and can't play the multiple ways that Gakpo can. Therefore, I think Gakpo, by my definition of what a facilitator is, helps to facilitate this team better when he's out on the left because he
let's just agree to disagree because I want to move on. Obviously, Tom and Callum are wrong when it comes to this.
Let's agree to disagree, but some people are wrong.
Let me just say this. Don't interrupt Tom because you've been jumping this whole thing. Facilitator in the Klopp era was Bobby Firmino. That's the guy that's facilitator for the front three. Ever since Firmino left, Salah has been the facilitator for the front three, not anyone else. Okay? Facilitating is something that no one in the front three can do other than Salah. However, it comes in levels. Not everything is black and white. Gakpo is a direct winger who cuts in and shoots. That's not facilitating. That's called being a direct winger. Diaz is a better facilitator than Gakpo. Calling Nunes a facilitator is the worst take in football history. So I'm not even gonna respond to that. You get me? So let's just do the super chats before we move on.
Ironically, Husam, I think the best facilitator in this team at the minute is Szoboszlai. Because Szoboszlai has to facilitate two areas of the pitch.
Okay, guys. So let me just read these super chats before we move on. Man just said Szoboszlai is a facilitator. I can't even. I can't even. I won't even. I think that's worse than Nunes. Wow, you outdone your tag teammate. Ekal is in the house. Is what? What is Ekal? Oh, like
yeah,
Egal.
word of Egal, yeah.
Yeah, write his name. Write his name. That's one of your guys too. The Coppish community. There you are. Don, do an Irreal live show in the UK with the lads. Let's see if the visa's accepted, mate. You get me? And then we'll take it from there.
The visa, yeah?
Brexit means Brexit. You get me? So we'll take it from there.
Over, that'd be nice or something.
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'd love to come to Anfield, man, and the parade and all this. So yeah, big up to you, A350. And if I do come to the UK, we'll do a real life podcast. You know,
yeah.
Hopefully, Coppish don't bottle this one. Big up to MBA who says Assalamu alaikum, Eid Mubarak, shukran, habibi. Eid Mubarak to you too. Minimum 5 right backs. Trent gone, left back, DM. I think you mean winger and striker if Salah Van Dijk stay. Otherwise, riots. We need 7. And Spirit of Shankly can do 1 free Palestine. Husam, Allahumma barak lak. Habibi, thank you so much, my guy.
I agree with that. He's absolutely right. We need 5 players, and if VVD and Salah go, we will need 7, but we'll never get 7 in one window. We probably won't get 5.
I think we need 6, but 5 is
we'll get 7. There's internal solutions. We've got Bajcetic coming back, Morton's available, Jaden Dans, Doak,
Owen Beck. You're right.
Beck. Oh my god,
Owen Beck's a good one.
Big up yourself, Jerry, bro.
Big up, man. Big up.
Facilitator and creator are different. Facilitator makes space by making runs and dropping deep, i.e. Gakpo. Creator makes left back. Makes what? LB passes, chances.
He's saying Gakpo's a facilitator, Mac is a creator. That's his argument.
I would argue the one that facilitates in our midfield is also McAllister and Gravenberg as well, to an extent. Those are the 2 that I think facilitate for the team. No?
I'm on board with those ones.
Yeah, I think that's
I just think we all have different definitions of what a facilitator
Andre is somewhere crying just because we said Szoboszlai is not a facilitator. You get
Andre.
Yeah, Andre is the biggest Szoboszlai. I think Andre likes Szoboszlai more than his wife does. Like anytime you mention Szoboszlai, he's just on you. Like no one understands Szoboszlai's role for this team. No one understands.
LB is line breaking.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, line breaking passes. I think the only one that can make that is McAllister.
So that's what he means when he says the creator makes the line breaking passes and chances, and that's McAllister.
And Salah.
Okay, fair enough. So you just
Salah just does every role for us. Salah's your goal scorer. Salah's your facilitator. Salah's your creator. Because he's that good, he can do it all.
Yeah.
All the others have to be kind of limited to one thing because that's where the skill set lies. Salah can do it all.
Speaking of facilitating, you guys have
Andre's there. Andre's in the chat. No,
Andre, I tried to fight a good fight.
I said the word
Szoboszlai. He's crazy. Big up Andre.
He's literally going to spawn in this chat. No one understands. This is Andre. Anytime someone says anything about Szoboszlai, no one understands Szoboszlai's role for this team. You guys just don't understand. The work that he does for this team is something that none of you understand. You just don't understand. Habibi, we understand, but can he shoot sometimes? Can he pass sometimes? Like, that's all we're asking for. You get me? We're not saying sell the guy.
Can I speak on that for like 1 second?
Go on.
I think that's instruction. I actually think that's instructions. I think that's instructions. In Ian Graham's book, he was speaking about like the probability of long range shots and the fact that you actually lose possession more taking long range shots. I think that's why we didn't really see that under Klopp, and that's why I don't think we see that as much under Slot either. Because taking long range shots, the probability of you scoring these goals is so low in comparison to containing possession, keeping the ball, penning the opposition in, and trying to create chances and better chance creation.
He was talking about Coutinho in this part of his book, weren't he?
No, but I think that applies to everyone.
Yeah,
but why? But why?
As benchmark.
But why was Coutinho?
Shots, 13 goals.
Yeah, but why was Coutinho able to go, and why was he allowed to take so many shots then?
I just think Coutinho just did what he did. And I think he had that license in the same way Trent's got that license to play those Hollywood passes, whereas I don't think anyone else in the team has that.
But you'd think.
But can I say something about Szoboszlai just quickly? The goal that we scored at Wembley, Szoboszlai doesn't make the Elliott pass, and that's the problem that I have. That's a genuine, objective, constructive criticism of Dominic Szoboszlai. I think in the final third, he pussies out of a lot of actions, and I hate that. I am all for risk taking, and you guys on the panel will vouch. I have no problem with someone who takes risks and it doesn't work. I'm completely okay with that. That's why I defend Trent all the time. I don't give a shit if your crosses don't work. I don't give a shit if like all that type of stuff is not working. That's fine. I'm all with it as long as you're taking risks, as long as you're trying. The problem that I have with Szoboszlai is he doesn't take enough risks, and the thing that pisses me off is he's actually a very good shooter. Like, you're actually a very good shooter of the football. When you get don't interrupt. You've been interrupting all stream.
I just want to give you a scenario, Husam.
So Szoboszlai actually has a very good shot at him. Bro, the guy scored a banger against Leicester and then almost never took a shot from that range ever again. Like, so that's the thing with people like Andre. Like, I'm not a critic of Szoboszlai or anything. I just want him to do more in the front third, in the final third. Because the problem with Szoboszlai is, this is Szoboszlai. He gets the ball. We're now in the front third. He's running. Let me look for Daddy. Where's Daddy? Oh, here you go, Mo. Here's the ball. That's literally Szoboszlai's role. He's running in the front line. You have a chance to shoot. Someone's making a run over there. You have a chance of creative pass. And then, oh, where is Salah? Let me find Salah. Oh, here you go, Daddy Mo. Do something.
But this is what I think. He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. Because if he goes on and shoots and he misses, everyone's gonna go, we should have passed.
No, I never say that. Do I ever say that?
No, I'm not saying you do, but that is the conundrum that he.
And actually, no, who says that? Who says that?
A lot of people do.
Everyone.
But I know the fans will. But do we think Slot would though? Do you think Slot would be like, yeah, you should have passed to Salah?
This is the thing I don't know with Slot. I don't know. But here's the thing. Another thing you got to look at, sometimes when players are making runs, are they making the correct runs to receive the ball? Because I think there's a reason Salah gets the ball from the player who's usually advanced with the ball. Because Salah's the one who creates space, puts himself in the best position to receive the pass, whereas the others, they just don't know where to make runs. Like Jota, when he's on form, knows how to make a run. Diaz doesn't make good runs. Nunes doesn't make good. In fact, Nunes can make good runs sometimes. You just always
don't want to pass it to Nunes because it won't lead to anything.
As of recent, to be fair, even Salah hasn't been making the right runs. He's not even making runs off the ball anymore. He's just like, Elliot's got it. Like, go on, run, and he's like, no, you give it to me.
It was so easy for Firmino when he had Mane and Salah because they would either run in straight lines or they would cross over. So you knew it was chaos. You knew it was chaos.
And if you want to just look at Szoboszlai selfishly as well. Do you want to know why he's not making all these risky passes? Because the moment we lose the ball, who's the fucker who's sprinting 60 yards back to cover the space that's been left? It's him. He's the one who's got to sprint all the way up the pitch with the ball and sprint all the way back the moment someone else loses the ball.
I was going to say,
fuck it, someone keep hold of it so I can have a breather for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what? Maybe Szoboszlai is just, when he wins the ball back after doing like 50 doggies before that, trying to win the ball, he's like, you know what? Let's just have a break. His idea of like
I know Salah looks
attacking and just keeping the ball in the final third now, as opposed to making it more of a basketball game
why
where
people
he shoots, misses.
I need to see Sobo with a natural DM. I need to see him in a team with a natural DM.
If Szoboszlai had a natural double pivot behind him who are holding their positions, he wouldn't have to do all this sprinting back all the time.
Yeah,
you might see him take more risks.
But the reason why I think you guys are just making excuses is he gets the ball in the final third. Even when he gets the ball in the final
explanation is not excuse.
He doesn't do enough for me to make that claim.
No, but Sam, here's the thing. I think Szoboszlai is in the same way you spoke about Gakpo and Diaz and the fact that they're different, so they'll work better against different opposition. I think Szoboszlai and another 10 would complement each other because you'd have one 10 like a Ryan Shirky, for example, who's just a creative monster, will make magic happen. But in certain games, you need that still with Szoboszlai, who's going to chase down the number 6 and harass the number 6.
Yeah, but no one's
and do what he did
disagreeing
against-
with that. No
No,
one
so
is.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm not sitting there making excuse for Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
I'm saying we need to sign another 10, and that 10 needs to rotate with Szoboszlai.
Yes,
He can't
all
be the
I'm
be all
saying
and
is
end
I just want Szoboszlai to take more risks. That's it.
I
That's
agree,
all I'm
but I
saying.
also think we see a better version of Szoboszlai if we have a more defensive pivot.
We see a better
one player
version
in
of
the pivot.
Gravenberg if that happens. We see a better version of McAllister if that happens.
Precisely. So we need a defensive facilitator.
No,
in the
I
midfield.
agree. We need a destroyer. I have no problem with that.
facilitator again.
I'm just saying the problem with Szoboszlai is every time in the final third when he gets the ball, he's not making enough decisive actions.
agree.
I mean
I agree.
decisive, and that's
Alright,
the
but if
issue
we
that
get
I
this, no,
have.
but hold on, but if we get this DM, yeah, this destroyer you're talking about, so who comes out then? Gravenberch for this DM?
Szoboszlai.
So
Nah, I
So
think
if
That's
Szoboszlai-
actually the funny part.
I
I'm
think you
sorry.
rotate them. I think you rotate them, Jay.
That's a
think
sit on the
rotate
fence answer. That's the Callum
It's not a
Sanders
sit on the
perspective.
fence. Shall I tell you why it's not a
just-
sit on the fence? Because I don't like the idea of having just a set starting 11, which is what we've had.
do you know
That's
what I
not
think
the
the problem
question.
becomes
That's
though?
not
If you get someone that's
not
that
the
good,
question.
if you get someone that's that good in that position, and you don't get someone that's just like, yeah, he's all right, he's a good rotational piece, they automatically become your starter because you become so reliant on their abilities.
If the
Which
team's
is-
better, then I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah,
have any
that's fair.
allegiance to anyone in the starting
That's
11.
fair.
I only care about Liverpool picking up trophies.
yeah. I was just asking about what happens. Let's say you got Shuameni and he becomes the Fernandinho
dream.
or Fabinho equivalent.
Yeah,
What happens
run it.
then?
Then
Yeah.
either Mac or
I think you
Gravenberch
just
on the
start
bench.
rotating the midfield based on needs. So, like when you're playing, if you had that perfect midfielder and then you're going up against a low block, you'd play McAllister and Szoboszlai or McAllister and Elliott type of thing. Your best passers of the football are guys who can create. Whereas if you're going up against a City, you'd probably play your McAllister and your Szoboszlai, a bit more physicality, people who like to tackle. Ultimately, I think the only guaranteed midfield start is McAllister. I think he should be the only one who starts.
I
pretty
think
much
your
every game, so he can
problem.
do
I
both.
think the problem starts to arise. I was just playing devil's advocate because I agree with you guys, but it's like, all right, so it's not based on merit. Then it doesn't matter what
You're
I
playing devil's advocate with two devils on the stream. That's
trust
crazy.
me. So you got 3 devils now, isn't it? But it's a thing where, all right, cool. Well, if I play well, then there's nothing I can do to solidify my place in the team because I'm going to be rotated out because I don't presumably so fit this game against City as an example. Whereas for this game, we're going to play this person. Footballers all want to go and play based on merit a lot of the time. So
Again,
it's
you
difficult.
can
It
work
becomes
your
difficult.
way in. It's not like it's a black and white thing, though. If Gravenberch all of a sudden started becoming a duel monster, because I think he's good at intercepting.
Is he not that? Is he not that? At the moment?
I don't think he's a duel guy. I think he's very good at intercepting the play. But if like he's going up one on one physically against a Joe Linton, I don't think he wants that type thing. McAllister's just a madman. He'll stick himself in there and get fucking punched in the face, which is why he's always down fucking injured. I don't think Gravenberch is there yet. But if he's all of a sudden started winning 3 tackles a game and started winning 80% of his duels and was contesting them at a really high level, all of a sudden I'm sitting there going, yeah, he's good. Even though I don't necessarily have him pinned down for that one, he's got to start that one.
But is it much lower than that right now? Because I remember seeing something, I don't quote me on this, but it was something like he's in like the top, whatever, 98th percentile for interceptions and top like 98th percentile for like tackles as well and stuff like that as a midfielder. If that's the case, then you're looking at it and thinking...
It's his interceptions and his recoveries. That's where he's at the top of interceptions and recoveries. His tackles, he's in like he's won 28 off 50% success rates. That has him like above average. His duels is upper echelon in terms of 137 off 58%, but it's not to the same extent where like he's in the top 1% for recoveries and the top 1% for interceptions. He can do the duels, but I don't think that's what he wants to do. He wants to be using his long legs to pick off your pass as you play it, rather than getting in there to stop you playing the pass. Whereas I think if he all of a sudden started also doing this thing where he wants to stop you playing the pass, and if that doesn't happen, he gets there, then I think it's different. What are we laughing at now? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Let me just read this super chat and then we.
At least it's not the fucking cannibals in Papua New Guinea now.
By the way, someone commented on the stream. He would happily send you to the cannibals in Papua New Guinea to get.
Yeah, I don't want to go though.
But it's not. So you said yes to Barry to get burned outside Anfield.
No, I never said yes to that.
Yes, you did.
No, I've
Yes,
made a very big point of saying I don't like fire. Is there something else I can do?
After Trent is gone, who will be our creator, long passer, as Slot does that in his system with a DM? Who's signing that can do that all? Unfortunately, Trent has no direct replacement in the whole planet.
Well, it
Ironically,
was the Mendy, isn't it? That was the guy he wanted.
he's slow though, isn't he? Oh, that
Yeah,
Manchester United game was
that's
not good viewing.
But the thing is, but you say that, but that's what I'm saying. The only player we know that Slot actually wants is the Mendy.
Yeah.
That's the only one we know for certain. It's that profile of player. That's what he wants.
Cal,
So-
I think we're going to be back on good terms here. I think he needs to go get Angelo Stiller then. That's your guy in the midfield on the market for 30 million.
They just
Oh,
spotted each other.
I
for
didn't
Angelo
mention a name, by the way. That wasn't me.
They just spotted each other for Angelo Stiller. This club has gone to the
Hold on,
shits.
wait.
That
Jerry mentioned someone else.
Yeah.
I said that would be my dream signing.
You know,
Or
if I spot Jerry James, it's gonna be like Kvaratskhelia, Ryan Shirky, the best of the best. You just spotted
I
each other
mentioned Shirky
for a
this stream as
£5
well.
million American midfielder. That's who you
my
spotted
dream-
each other for.
Am I allowed
Angelo
to
Stiller's not
mention my
American,
dream-
and he's
Am I allowed
not.
to
He's not
mention who my
£5 million.
dreams- Can I mention who my dream centre midfielder signing would be, or
Mhm.
Who?
Camavinga?
That's my guy.
Wow. That's very edgy.
Yeah.
Like everyone would like Camavinga.
No, but I didn't know if I was allowed to say.
Hey,
it
put
because
one in the
of
chat if you're
because of
taking
this birth
Camavinga
I've got.
at the Football Club.
he's
Wow,
the best, he's
Callum,
the best,
that's
he's the
so
best.
crazy. That's
He's the
so
best.
crazy.
If
That's so
Camavinga
crazy.
signed, we'd be.
See, look at the comments of Sam. Everyone's talking about how good Angelo Stiller is.
Can Gravenberg win young
Just say
player
you
this
don't rate him because
season?
he's got a fat nose.
All right,
Big up Miriam.
could I ask you who? I don't know. I've been out of the game. Who is Angelo Stiller? Who does he play for?
The
What
DM
is
for
he?
Stuttgart.
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 He's an incredible passer of the football.
Yeah,
No, but hold on,
Stuttgart-
and then you want.
Stuttgart
No, but
finished
listen,
second.
I get it. No, listen, I get it, and it could work. It could work. But imagine you're Salah, Virgil, Mo, or even Konate,
Hey, add him to the list.
and they
please.
say we've won the
Callum.
league. Who's the main guy that we're going to
Callum,
get in to
add him.
help us? Angelo
Right.
Stiller from Stuttgart.
Yeah, the next Tony Kroos.
Jerry,
That's
what
don't
they say in
look-
Germany.
Don't look at the name. Don't look at the name,
That's what
Jerry.
they say
Look
in
at the
Germany.
profile of the
No,
player.
it's
Tommy,
not
you're the
about-
only one
it's
that
not
knows all
about the
this
name.
stuff.
It's not about the name. But you see every other team, they sign that player whilst they've got their main DM, their top guy in the team. We're signing him to be the guy.
How
so
about
much
this,
pressure.
Jenny? Angelo
so
Stiller
much
is better than Martin Zubimendi.
Okay, Tom,
I'm
can
gonna
Gravenberg
shoot
win
off.
young player of the
Ah,
year?
Tom,
Steve,
man. We had
Steve,
such a
Callum,
good
thank you
stream,
for
bro.
joining us.
Big
Appreciate
up.
it.
He's
Big
better
up,
than
Callum.
Zubimendi. Big up.
By the way, the us
Yeah,
going on
yeah.
Coppage,
Big up,
it might be Friday. I don't know if
Friday,
you-
yeah.
Yeah, Friday. We're running Friday this week, guys, until we figure out post Ramadan schedule.
I might not be on that one, but I'll see what I can. I'm trying to move stuff around.
Oh, we can talk about transfers freely for Sam. Get it?
You got snakes. I big up you guys.
Yeah,
That's
big
the
up.
like button. Big up.
see you, Callum. See you. Can he actually win young player of the season, Gravenberg?
Yeah,
No.
can swear Raheem Sterling won it when he was 24.
Bro,
24.
Yeah,
come on,
Raheem
they're
Sterling
taking
won it in 2018.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe you can then, isn't it? Maybe you can. I thought it was under 23s.
Unless the rules changed.
oh, he can win it. The Premier League Young Player of the Season annual English Football Award presented to the player, best player aged 23 or younger.
It's 23 or younger at the start of the
23.
season. Now, so if you age into
Yeah, he's
24,
22
you're fine.
and his birthday is in
Yeah.
May, so
Okay.
he could do it.
Yeah.
Actually, he can win Young Player of the Season next year as well. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Okay, let me ask you guys a final topic before we wrap up the stream. First of all, big up everyone locked in. We have 900 people in here. We're on 300 likes. Can we just get to the 400 likes, please, you guys? And also, all of these guys' channels in the description. The Jerry James Show. He might come back at some point in time. You get me? And Tom Little.
Yeah,
Match
Jenny will
one
come
show.
back with a show about the definition of facilitator in football. We've driven him to
That'll be-
that.
That'll be the name. That'll be the name. The facilitator.
Facilitator.
Only getting players. That's the first question on every podcast. What's the definition of facilitator?
Facilitator. That's quite aggressive.
On the
Mikey,
Friday
that's-
Liverpool show, you're going to spend the first 30 minutes getting everyone's definition of facilitator and
No,
listen
no,
to
I'm not
Jamie
gonna do
try and
that, I'm
twist
not.
it in how many ways.
I'm not gonna do that with ends and shit like ends and Jamie and K-Mac. Oh fucking hell. We would get into a whole war. We would get into a whole war with that definition. Anyway.
I think on that panel, everyone in the squad at some point will be called a facilitator.
But Sean, here's the thing. I genuinely despise people like you because the chat is subscribers mode only. So you subscribe to the channel to tell us that we're talented coaches and managers wasting their time on YouTube. So which is worse? Us being talented coaches and managers wasting our time on YouTube, or you watching talented coaches and managers wasting their talents on YouTube? Like, why are you watching then? Jamie Carragher's on Sky. Go watch right now. Anyway, back to the topic.
Jamie Carragher's on YouTube more than Sky at the minute.
Yeah, he is, to be fair. You get me. There's shows with Carragher, Neville. Go for it, bro. LFC TV. You can go watch whoever the hell they have on there now. Go for it, my brother. Anyway, back to the topic. Cheers, no problem. Big up. Don't watch us, man. Go watch the footballers. Kerkez, 45 million price tag, slapped up by Bournemouth. Isak is plan A, B, and C. What are we gonna do this summer? Tom, we start with you. Go ahead, since you're the transfer guru.
We're gonna go sign Kerkez.
Tell them who you want right now. Tell them.
Yeah.
Who does Tom Little say he wanted before the stream?
Yeah. I'll get to it. So we'll sign Kerkez, and then we'll do all the thing for Isak, and then Newcastle get Champions League, and we can't afford them. So then do you want what Liverpool do or I'll do? Liverpool will pivot to Sesko. I would pivot to Retegui and Boniface.
Boniface.
Everyone says this about Boniface. His numbers are really good.
But
Injury-wise is a worry.
You can't keep looking at the numbers. Bobby's numbers weren't that. You've got to look at the other. It's the other numbers.
Yeah, but I'm on about Boniface's creative. Boniface is a really good. I'm not gonna say the word, otherwise I'm having an aneurysm.
Creator. Are you gonna say he's a creator?
No, I was gonna say he's a really good. I was gonna say he's a really good facilitator. He brings others into the game. His amount of attacking actions per night is ridiculous. But I would say, for me, Retegui and Boniface are the kind of strikers that I like to watch. These strikers that can go up against two centre-backs and bully them on their own, but they have the movement in the box, they have the IQ in the box, and the finishing is pretty solid, all things considered. They're not Isak levels, but we can't afford Isak levels, and I think we need two strikers. And, it's like a hierarchy. Isak, Alvarez, and then maybe Osimhen is like kind of in that last category as well. On the upper echelon of yes. Million times yes. Then you get to the next category of the ones that you like. They're not there. They could get there, but they're pretty solid, all things considered. That's for me where like Boniface and Retegui fall into. Then the category after that is where your Seskos and your Ekatikes and your Joao Pedros and your Liam Delaps, they all fall into. You need to do a lot of work with them.
But wouldn't it be better to do the work with them? Because Boniface, he's not going to get better than what he is, and neither is Retegui.
But the Retegui and Boniface are 24 and 25 respectively. I think there's not as much room, but I think there's enough room there to work with. And I'm kind of sick of buying these.
Can I ask you a question, Tom? Why not Osimhen?
I think the problem with Osimhen is going to be the wages. I like Osimhen. I just think the wages are going to be the problem.
But his price tag is so low.
Yeah, but I think the football club wants to get the wage bill back under control. And I don't think that they get the wage bill under control by giving Osimhen big money on a long contract.
I personally feel he wants to go to Chelsea anyway.
I think he's probably...
No, I actually think John Obi Mikel on that podcast, he talks about Osimhen like him and him speak every single day. And he's like, yeah, like he wants to come to here. So I don't know.
I think
if he said he wanted to join and the wages weren't going to be, $300,000 a week, I'm for it. I think he's out of the three world-class strikers that are available, he's the one that's most attainable. But I just don't think we're going to be getting him. So then I go to my next category of the ones that are with a good coach.
And the next category for you is Retegui and Boniface.
Yes, the top scorer in the Serie A and the guy who helped the top scorer for Bayer.
Name one Italian striker who did well outside Italy.
He's not Italian, no. He's Argentinian, as I said. He
He's
came.
literally
He was
Italian.
born in
All right,
Argentina.
name an
raised-
Argentinian striker that's done well in the Prem. Then
Julian Alvarez. Sergio
Alright.
Aguero.
He's not
There we go.
Argentinian. He was just
He-
he's Argentinian.
He was born in
ethnically, but
Argentina
he's
and played in
Italian.
Argentina up until the
It's
age
the
of
same as the
23.
Icardi thing, Jerry.
like Mauro
It's
Icardi,
not.
yeah, because they got Italian heritage. Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It's not. Retegui
It's the same
played,
thing.
No, Retegui played in Argentina until he was
Ciro
23.
Immobile couldn't even do it at Dortmund.
Matteo Retegui came through the Boca Juniors Academy
Yeah. So why does he represent Italy then? If he's
because
so
he's
good?
got Italian grandparents. He only
They
played,
all-
he only moved
no,
to
but-
Italy last year.
But to be fair, all the Argentinian players do. Like majority of them do.
I love the fact
Lavezzi,
Tom Little went and researched
Cavani,
his whole family
he's
tree.
Uruguayan
Like,
still.
man just said his How do you know his grandma moved to Italy last year or whatever? Like, do you just how the fuck do you know this stuff?
that.
Were you like on page 10 of the Google
he
search?
He declared for Italy last year.
I don't even think you can find this information on like retegui.com. Like, where the hell do you get this stuff from?
You just
Like,
said
he just moved to
why
Italy
is
last-
Retegui
How do you
Italian?
know this?
It was in an
Oh.
article. Retegui's Italian, but he was born in Argentina, raised in Argentina, came through the Argentinian youth teams at Boca Juniors, and then he left the Argentinian league at 23 to join Genoa last year, and then Atalanta this year.
What's his wife's name?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You know all this information about all these players. Kerkez 45 million. You guys in or out or too much money?
I'm in.
I don't know if I'm. I don't know. It is what it is. If Slot wants him, take him. But I'm not convinced.
But
If
the
it's
left-back
45
market
million,
hasn't got
I'm
many
out.
young great ones. Right, come on.
That's too much
But
money, Tom, for a left back. 45 million.
It's not too much money for a left
That's
back.
5 million less than Kvaratskhelia price tag. That's 5 million less than Osimhen.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's brilliant. So two players,
Bring me out.
both of who handed in transfer requests, and now the benchmark for where you measure it from. Let's go look at the most expensive left backs on the planet.
Jerry keeps putting this picture up. Is that him actually playing football?
Most expensive left backs ever. There we go.
That's fucking Morello. I thought that's Jerry the whole time.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it's really
Ends got me to put it up because I sent him a picture of me playing football, and he was like, "Oh my god, it looks like this picture."
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
the most expensive. We're saying he'd be
Who
45
did you
million.
play for, Jerry?
Luton Town played for Lech Poznan.
Oh, big ups to Rob Edwards and all
The
that.
Hatters, yeah. In 2000,
Really? You played you really played for Luton?
yeah, not first team, of course, but I was there until under 18s. So this
Mhm.
is 2012.
And then you went to Poland.
Yeah, I'm Polish, so I played for Lech Poznan.
Big ups.
Which,
Oh,
which
isn't that
position did you
the
play?
club that brought through Lewandowski, Lech Poznan?
Pardon?
Or am I not-
Lech
Is Lech-
Poznan, yeah, Lewandowski,
Yeah.
Lech Poznan, yeah. Jan Bednarek as well. That plays for Southampton now.
I bet you didn't know that yourself.
Which position did you play for Lech Poznan?
Centre back. Yeah.
So do you have a Wikipedia page?
No. I removed that stuff. You can remove it.
Um,
Transfer market stuff.
Transfer
You
market.
can
have a
make it
transfer
yourself.
market page?
No, I removed it. I can send you images. I'll send you images later.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
send
love
you
to
images.
see that.
Let me find it.
I'd love to see that. That's actually an amazing story. Lech Poznan. Wow.
But back to my point though. Before Jerry
Tom
just sort of
plays
blew
left
us all
back
out the
for
water.
his Sunday league team.
I play everywhere, mate. I'm the most versatile player.
No, you play left back.
No, I
Oh,
play
Robbo.
everywhere. No, I'm effectively just James Milner. I will play anywhere,
Go.
even
Don't
centre
ever
back.
disrespect James Milner like that. You ain't you ain't
But
let him have-
we're saying
have-
45 million for Kerkez. That would make him the 7th most expensive left back of all time.
Yeah, but that's too much money.
It's not too much money. You
We
can't
support Liverpool, not Real Madrid. We
you
don't
can't
pay a
skimp
lot
on
of money.
quality. You cannot skimp on quality. This is a 21-year-old with 2 years of Premier League experience, one of them being one of the best left backs in the league, and you're turning your nose up for who? Who are we going to get then?
Yeah, I don't know who I like.
Do not dare say Ryan ain't naughty.
Ryan Aitnori. That's who I like. Aitnori is so good, bro. That guy's technique is fucking phenomenal. I'll be honest with you. He is actually like Tom. You look too much at numbers, and I think You have like Polish guy spawns on the chat as soon as we say like Poznan.
Shema,
This
Shema,
community
Shema.
is... Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Shema, Shema, Shema. Means what's up?
Oh, Tom is the only illiterate one on the stream. Let's go. He's the only one that speaks one language on the stream. Let's go. No. We're not gonna get Chilwell, Lewis. You can keep him. That's a you problem, mate. 8-Noor is a shit defender. I think his defensive problems are way too overdone. Like, he's not that bad at defending. He's not that bad at defending at all. And his technique is supreme. Supreme. Like, so.
Right,
yeah,
Husam, let me ask you this.
What?
If Wolves stay up, Kerkez and Isak are probably going to cost about the same. Because they were Wolves.
But you already know my preference, so you can't even ask me that question.
So you're sitting there saying if both are available for the same price, you're picking Isak over Kerkez.
Yes.
That's worse than anything I've said all stream.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You wanted an Italian striker to play for Liverpool Football Club.
Too right, I did.
Yeah, that's a way bigger L. Way bigger L.
Nori at left back for Liverpool.
Anyway, guys, let's just wrap up the stream here. Appreciate every single one of you guys. 850 people as we're wrapping up the stream. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. Tom Little is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. The Jerry James Show, Matt One Show, Sanderson Show, Kopish, all in the description. Go give them all a subscribe. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. This stream is going to take over to Judge Mo's channel, where I'm going to be on his stream later as well. And I'm going to be back for Arsenal Fulham. The Premier League is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go. Love you all and see you guys on the next one. Peace.